So day three, thank you for joining us. Day three, everybody will, as we went along yesterday, everybody began to join and, I don't think I got to see everybody on the call because, I was in the car because all the lights went out all down the whole street yesterday. And, so I love it. If you want to, open up your camera. You don't have to, but I do love to preach to you. I do love to talk to you. I love to coach to you. So it's totally up to you, though. Great. And so all I say is watch what walks behind you. I have had some very funny things happen with people walking behind people. So make sure make sure that if there's anybody in the house, they all have their clothes on. And because I've had some funny things happen. So I'm glad you're here for you can earn more, you can make more. This is a coaching company. Don't do business alone. We started years ago. Don't do church alone. What came in soon after that as God began to speak to me about coaching churches. And he really did, talk to me about that and yanking and pulling me. I knew it the best, so I don't know why, but anyway, we've had the wonderful opportunity to coach churches, help them grow, and then hundreds of entrepreneurs I've coached to 6 and 7 figures. Some of them in 1 year. They can go from uh, uh, just starting a business to 6 figures. It really is the easiest thing. Let's say I say it's the simplest thing, and really it is easy. Once you know the principles, it's very simple. It's just that I didn't know the principles. So I break it down and make it simple. And it really is very simple to go to 6 figures. Now, you have to do a lot of the principles right. So here's what I say. If you'll do everything I tell you to do, then we'll hit 6 figures at the end of the year. And it doesn't matter if you want to do it in a year or 2 years, that's totally fine. But you can. And that's what appealed to me when I first started with my coach. And he said the very same thing to me. If you will do everything I tell you to do, you'll be set for life. And that's really what he said. You'll be set for life by the end of the year. Here's what he meant is that I would learn how to create financial security for me. I would learn how to sell properly, build relationships, and remember that when I say sell, I know that's a nasty word to so many ministers and just kingdom entrepreneurs that don't like to sell, and all they think about is car sales. And that's not it. Car sales is, even though thousands of cars have been sold, but really sales and kingdom entrepreneurship, kingdom business is that it's building relationships. It's really building relationships. And that's all you're doing. And when I figured that out, I mean, I was good at that. I was a pastor's wife for 28 years. So, doing business, really, I learned that ministry and business, it wasn't separate, that the principles were the same, and how we grew a church is how we grew a business, but I didn't know that. And welcome to day three. If you have not already registered, please register, because it not only helps me know who's been on the call, but also at the end of that page, or the last page, there's a free download for you that I would love to give to you as my gift to you, an ebook. And if you want a printed book, just email me at drmargot@margotbush.com. And listen, my email is everywhere, so I don't care. Email me, talk to me. If you need a question, talk to me. If I've talked about a program, like I talked about the Don't Do Business, our new program, our brand new program, it's Don't Do Business Alone Impact Program. It's a monthly program. You can go on margotcoaches.com and there's a click and a link right there at the top, and it'll walk you through. And be sure that if you want to know about it before I want you to know about it. So I try to put as much information in there as I can so that when you make a decision, it's a quality decision for you today. At the end of today, I'm going to do a special offer. This is something that I really wanted to offer throughout this program. And so we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I want you to be able to take some things home with you today that you can put into practice. And wherever you are in your journey of ministry or business, I want you to be able to take some things home today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Yesterday, we talked about the three things. Three secrets. I don't believe they're secrets, really. They're in the Word of God, but sometimes they're secrets to us, or three tips, however you want to call it, of successful growth. First of all, imagination. It goes back to Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain. Now, I want to read it to you so that you really see the power in it. There's really power in it to write things down. And the Lord answered me and said, he was complaining. Habakkuk was complaining and wondering what to do. Does that sound like us? Yeah, it does. What are we, why don't we have enough? Why don't we have enough money? Why are we living paycheck to paycheck? Why can't I increase my financial security? Why don't I have financial security right now? Because you can. And then listen to me. Don't let the enemy lie to you or your mind lie to you and say that you're too old, because you're not. You can grow a significant, well-established business in 3 years. I did it. Okay. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain. Write it down and make it plain on tablets, like a tablet. Done that, like a tablet, like an iPad or a tablet, that he may run that readeth it. So, in other words, you're running and the Lord's saying, go run with it and write it down. That Message Bible says in big black block letters, so that as you're running, go look at it, keep running, go look at it, and keep on track. Now, this is the thing that we talked about, is clarity. Number 2, clarity. Clarity breeds confidence. So clarity breeds confidence. Let's go back to number 1. I have something I want to say about that. What is your passion in your heart? It's not up to you to bring it to pass. It's up to you to do the principles that are laid out, principles of business, principles of growth, principles of ministry, principles. So he's saying, write it down, write it out in big black block letters so you don't forget it. So while you're running, you can look at it. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Man, it speaks to me, because when you get in business, I own 3 businesses now. I started out with being president of Bush Publishing, not knowing where I was going to go, not living scared, basically living scared. And now I own 3 very successful businesses, and I coach kingdom entrepreneurs. I coach executive leaders all around the country, executive pastors, and people that want to go to 6 figures and people who want to go to 7 figures. So write it down, that he may run that readeth it. And the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and it shall not lie. So what is it that's in your heart? What is it that's in your hand? Begin to imagine it. There's a power in that, and write it down. There's a power in that. Here's why. You're imagining a lot of things. You're imagining that you're not going to have enough at the end of the month. You're imagining that maybe what am I going to do when I get in my 70s and 80s? You're imagining there's lots of things that come through our head that we're imagining that I can't do it, that I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I wasn't raised on the right side of the tracks, I wasn't, raised in a wealthy family. Yeah, all kinds of things that go through our head. Now, here's what God says. What do you imagine? That's what's going to come to pass. What are you going to write down? What are you writing down? That's what's going to come to pass. So number 2 is clarity. What is in your hand? Clarity. What's in your hand? We're going to go to Habakkuk. I'm going to read it on my phone. Habakkuk said, I'm sorry, not Habakkuk, 2 Kings 4. A certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets cried out to Elijah, saying, your servant, my husband, is dead. And you know that your servant feared the Lord. That's amazing to me that she cried out to God and about her husband that feared God, and God honored that. It's amazing. And the creditor is coming to take my 2 sons to be his slaves. So Elijah said to her, what shall I do for you? Tell me. In other words, now we're going to talk about some real actions today about making money. And like I said, sales, let's talk about 7 steps to successful selling. And you could put in parentheses relationships, because that's what you do. You build relationships, and the more relationships you build, look here what she did. So Elijah said to her, what shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house? What do you have in your hand? What do you have in your house? And she said, I don't have anything except a jar of oil. Man, what can happen from a jar of oil? From a small thing in your house. What's in your house? Now, here's what I want to say. What is the gift God has given you? That's what it's talking about. The gift that God has given you. Sometimes we think that the gift that God has given us is just for us, and it's our hobby, and it's so easy to do, and we shouldn't charge for it, but because it's just easy to do. Well, that's what it's there for. That is it. That's it, you guys. That's that thing. It's easy for me to talk. It's easy for me to love on people and coach people. It's easy for me. I charge for it now. For years, for 28 years, I pastored a church and I coached people in a church. And yes, I got paid by the church, but it wasn't, just for that. Now I coach people. I didn't realize that was the gift that God wanted me to use. It's what is in your hand. What is it that you have a gift to do? And God wants to increase that and help you make money. So here's what he said to her to do. Okay. Then he said, go, 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 go. Don't sit and pray, even though prayer's good. I pray it every day. Go, get up and go and do the principles I'm getting ready to tell you. So he told her what to do. Go borrow vessels from everywhere. That sounds like sales to me. That sounds like marketing to me. Go borrow vessels. Knock, 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 knock. Hey, Melba. Hey, Melba. No. Hey, Melba. Yeah? Do you have some vessels do you have some pots I can borrow? Well, I have a few. Can I borrow them? I'll return them. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, Mildred. Knock, knock, knock. Does that sound like sales? Does that sound like knock, 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 knock? Does that sound like, I mean, it's in the word. Knock, 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 knock. Even Jesus said to the woman at the well, he said, now go tell everybody. What is that? Go tell everybody what I've done for you. What is that about business? Hey, go tell, why do I get testimonies from my clients and ask them over and over? Can you give me a testimony? Can you give me a recommendation? Why? Because somebody else is going to hear that and they're going to say, hey, I need that. That is exactly what happened with Jesus. Jesus became famous because everybody started going and telling what he'd done for her. So what can you do for other people? What is kingdom entrepreneurship? What is kingdom business? What is kingdom kingdom leadership about? It is about helping and serving people. And just because you get paid for it that doesn't mean it means that you can get paid for it. You help and serve people. That's what I do. I help and I serve people, and there's a reward and a benefit. And when I do it good, people want to give. People want to pay for it. The better you are at it, the more people will do it. So then he said, go borrow vessels from everywhere, from all your neighbors, empty vessels. Do not gather just a few. Don't just stop at a few. I want to stop there a minute and I want to read you something from, I have lived in, guerrilla marketing. If you want to do any marketing and you want the basics of marketing, get a hold of Guerrilla Marketing by J. Conrad Levinson. He was the godfather of marketing. He's now since passed the cancer. But when we talk about, and I hear this all the time, that people say, well, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to bother anybody. And I don't want to do it too much. Do you know that until somebody hears about you, about your service, your product, your book, your message, until they have heard it, first of all, if they've heard it 3 times, it's like they never even heard it. If they've heard it 8 times, then there's 50%, only 50, but 50% likelihood they will commit to purchase. But when you get to 12, there's almost a 90% chance that they'll purchase. Now, J. Conrad Levinson says, the first time a man looks at an ad, he doesn't see it. The second time, he doesn't notice it. The third time, he is slightly conscious of his existence. So he hasn't even really heard it. He hasn't even noticed. And we're saying, and most people, I would say 99, 98%, I'm not saying that that's an exact statistic, but pretty much 98% of people stop at 3 because they feel like, oh, I'm bothering somebody. The 4th time, he faintly remembers having seen it. The 5th time, he actually reads the ad, but he doesn't do anything about it. The 6th time, he turns up his nose and said, I've seen that ad over and over again. So now you got to get past that. I've had people say to me, I don't want to be on your Facebook page anymore because I don't want to read the ad. And I say, okay. And you know what? I say, oh, that's wonderful. That's okay. Because you know what? That means that I'm not for them. And it's okay not to be for them. Don't get your feelings hurt. Your book is not for everybody. Your product and service is not for everybody. It's not. And don't tell me it is, because it's not. And you got to get it in your head and in your mind. It's not for everybody. You're looking for those, you're looking for your field of favor, whether you're speaking or whether you're, have a service or product or art. Masa is on here, and she's one of my illustrators and artists. Oh my goodness, she has great art. So the sixth time he turns up his nose to it, the seventh time he reads it through, and just it says here, he's just like, oh brother, because he's not even sure that he wants it. You still got to get past that. The eighth time he says, here's that thing again. Here's that ad again. The ninth time he wonders whether it amounts to anything. The ninth time he will ask his neighbor about it. Okay. That's the ninth time. Now he's asking somebody else about it. See how powerful your testimonies are for you? The 11th time he wonders how the advertiser even is providing the product. The 12th time he thinks it just might be good for him. He's still not done yet. The 13th time he thinks it might be worth something. And that is the 13th time. That is a lot of work, you guys. That's why entrepreneurship is work. And here's the thing. This is the boring stuff. But if you do it, you can definitely pay somebody else to do it. But when you're starting a ministry or business or church, sometimes you don't have enough money to start. Here's the thing though, this is powerful because you just keep on. The 14th time he remembers that he might just need that. He hasn't committed to purchase though. The 15th time he's tantalized because he doesn't know if he could really afford it. The 16th time he thinks he just might buy it someday. Maybe not today, but someday. Now, what if you had stopped at 17? What if you stopped at 17? He's thinking about it. You got him interested. You got him or her interested. The 18th time, he swears at his poverty because guess what's getting ready to happen? He's really thinking about it. He's thinking about it over and over again. The 19th time, he counts his money carefully to see if he can afford it. And the 20th time he sees the ad, he buys it. Now that comes from the godfather of marketing. Does it happen with everybody like that? No, because there's halfway through about 50% of people will purchase. But listen, even still, half of 20 is 10. You got to stay in the game, girl. You got to stay in the game. That's why marketing is so important. So the woman that had the oil, let's see what happened to her. This is super interesting to me because it's right here in the word. Business is all right here in the word. So then Elijah said, go borrow vessels from everywhere, from all your neighbors, empty vessels. Do not gather just a few. Keep going, keep knocking, and don't give up. And when you have come in, you shall shut the door behind you and your sons, then pour it into all those vessels. Now, here's what's interesting to me. He said, go in, shut the door, close it behind you, and pour it into those vessels and set aside the full ones. Sounds to me like a little bit of financial security there. Sometimes we just give all of we just give it all away. And yet God's trying to provide for our future. He said, shut the door behind you and your sons, then pour it into all those vessels and set aside the full ones. So she went from him and shut the door behind her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured it out. Now she took that little bottle and she began to pour it. And look what happened. As she began to pour it, God began to multiply that oil, and it did not stop. So she went from him and shut, let's read it again, and shut the door behind her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured it out. And it came to pass when the vessels were full, she just kept pouring that little bitty vessel of oil, jar of oil. And it kept multiplying, kept multiplying. Why? Because she did the principles that Elisha told her to do. Does that mean that you have to have a word from God? No, it means that you have to have the principles that are right here written in the word, and they're full of growth, how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to expand a business, ministry, church. It's all right there. You just don't know it. And here's the thing, I didn't either. So I needed somebody to help me. Some of my students are on the call today. That's what they did. They stepped into my elite business program so that they could, because if you could have done it already, you would have. If I could have done it already, I knew that I would have. I needed a coach to teach me how to do business. And because of that, it's expanded and taught me how to grow authors, to grow book sales, to grow ministries, to grow churches. I mean, who would have thought that one step would have brought me to this? I know that it says imagine, but I just imagined that my imagination is that I would have plenty and be financially secure for me and my boys, and that I wouldn't live paycheck to. I never in a million years thought I'd be running 3 businesses. And really, the truth is, I run all these other businesses too. I coach all these other businesses, and there's some ministries that I actually lead the ministries, the ministry staff, and the churches. Who would have thought that? So, whatever you can imagine right now is just a little bit of what God has for you. Listen to what happened. Then she came and told the man of God. Let's back up. And he said to her, let's see, let's back up a little bit more. Now it came to pass when the vessels were full that she said to her sons, bring me another vessel. And he said to her, there is not another vessel. Now, whose fault was that? It was her fault. If she had gone, knocked one more door, not that she needed to, I'm not saying that, but here's what I'm saying. Whose fault was it? It wasn't Elisha's fault. It wasn't God's fault. It was, she could have knocked one more door. In fact, look at all those doors and all those vessels she did have. She knocked, and she kept knocking, and she kept knocking. And then there came a time where she stopped. Could she have gone on? She could have knocked more. She could have gone bigger. She could have grown bigger. She could have had more vessels. But so there is, and he said to her, her son said to her, there is not enough vessels. So the oil ceased. What's the key here? Why do we not have enough money in our bank account? Why do we not have enough financial security? the principles that Elijah told her to do, she went and did. She didn't sit. She went and did them. And she knocked on doors. And she asked. He said, ask, knock. It's not all up to God, it's up to us. And then the oil ceased. So then she came and told the man of God and said, go sell the oil. Now go sell the oil. So go sell your overflow now and pay off all your debts, and you and your sons live on the rest. Live on the rest. She didn't, she did her work. Doesn't say how long it took her. She did the work. She did the work like the ants. You know, the ants we talked about yesterday. They stored up. They worked hard. They kept working. They kept knocking. They kept bringing it in the supply. And then she got to rest. If you're not resting, then you haven't been doing the principles that are already awaiting you. They're already awaiting you. God's already given you the gift. God's already been talking to you. That's why you're here. God's already there's something in your heart that says, I have something more to give. That inner voice, that gift that you have, and you can make, and God is supplying that gift for you to make money from. And serve people. Now, there's not just, I'm really big on this. It's not just about making money. It's about serving people, helping people, and creating increase. Now, I know a lot of people that I have to really work with their mindset when they come to me, is that they feel like it all should be free. Well, Elijah didn't. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, I'll teach you how to create wealth. Why? Because it's my covenant with you. All right. Imagination, clarity. Get clear on what, and that's a big thing, getting clear on what you want to do. And yesterday we talked about learning people, learning relationships. You have to learn people and relationships. We're going to talk about what I call the 7 steps of successful selling, and how to really do that so that you can go away from this third day working on something. But first, I want to tell you about, I teach all of this in a program called the Elite Business Program. Some of my students that are here, they're in the Elite Business Apprentice Program, which is the level above. They've been in my program for more than a year, and they have lifetime access in that program. But this is where we start. And I'm going to show you what I teach in that program. And during this time, probably even till the end of this week, this program is 50% off. It's normally $12,000. And I have broken it down to where it's only $49.97 for you this week. I'm going to share my screen with you. Just if you'll just give me a few seconds, and let me, is it okay? Is it okay if I give, because here's what I want to do. If it's for you, great. If it's not, that's great too. It's that I want to serve everybody that I can and help everybody I can. Or it may be for somebody that you know that really is struggling in their business. So, is it okay if I take like 2 minutes? Everybody okay with that? Just 2 minutes? All right. So, the Don't Do Business, Elite Business Program will introduce you to a successful entrepreneurial journey. And when I say successful, I stay with you. I hold your hand. My students here will tell you, I hold their hand. And my goal is to get you by month 3 tripling in your profits. That's my goal, is that you're tripling in your profits. At least you're making money by month 3. You'll develop a mindset for successful business entrepreneurship. Many times that is what's right there, is what's breaking it down, is that really the mindset you have to have in order to create 6 and 7 figures. Create your unique brand, develop a strategic business master plan, learn to attract more customers, learn how to sell, how to effectively market. There's marketing, but effective marketing is very different. And build a valuable business that makes money. We want to increase your revenue. I couldn't do without it. I became a widow at 49. I had to start making money. I mean, and for so many of you, you need to start making money like now. And some of you want to start a business. You've been thinking about it. Some of you want to start a ministry that is successful. Some of you want to start a book business and sell books. So here's the modules. And the way I do it is we do coaching once a week. It's group coaching once a week. For 3 months, I do one-on-one coaching. And then you receive the course and the product. Now I am eventually, and I'm working on it, putting it all online, video and everything. But right now, I put it all in Google Docs, and we actually go through it. And we build it out. We build out your master plan. We build out your sales plan. We build out your marketing plan. What you've got to know the business of the business. It's like number one. Our bookkeeper and my student is on the call. She is a fantastic bookkeeper, kingdom entrepreneur, kingdom bookkeeper. And for businesses, there she is. Hi, Melissa. And I'm telling you what, in this day and age, and trust me, I have seen everything, even in churches. You can trust this woman right here. She'll never steal a dime from you. She'll make sure your books are always right. And listen, when you start growing, that's the kind of person you need. Because I'm telling you what, we've had our books. We've even had secretaries. I've heard secretaries of churches alter the books. It's everywhere. You guys know it's everywhere. So, and you're not going to be able to do your books forever yourself. You need to turn it over to a bookkeeper, and she'll start working right with you. She'll work with where you're at. She'll help you start, and she'll grow with you. And that's what you need. All right. So that program is normally, it's been as high as 12,500. It's sometimes I've offered it for 10,000 for a year. Now here's why. 12,500 is a college, is 1 year of tech school. I know I went. 1 year of tech school is 12,500. And so you do get a certificate of completion with it. And you may not say you want it right now, but as you grow, you probably will like to have it, because I said that too. But as I went along, now I have my doctorate, and I thought I would never have my doctorate. But there is a reason. You begin to grow, and you begin to see the potential. You begin to see your business bigger. And so this week, that program is $5,000. And if you're at all interested, you can go to Margot Coaches. Actually, I'm going to give you a link because you can go directly to one of the links that I'll put it here in the chat for you, and you can take a look at it if you're interested. Or listen, please, if you know somebody that could really use us, that's what it's all about. Is that we're here to serve people. We're here to serve business owners and ministers and lots of pastors, lots of ministers. I have a minister right now. I have a senior pastor right now that owns a business and has a church. And as we've been coaching him, I'm so thrilled is that he is now getting ready to sell his business. And I'm able to help him because he's going full time with the church. And because we've done some, hopefully we've done just some great things that God's helped us teach them, and they've been able to grow. Okay, now enough about that. You can find anything on margotcoaches.com. And listen, with that program, I will stay right with you. If you're serious, which I was, it was important to me. I was serious. My business coach stayed right with me, and I stayed right with you. And then the Impact program is also on my website. There, it's actually right there on the first page. Okay, let's get back into the 20 minutes that we have. I want to send something home. I want to send you with 3 things that you can put into practice right now. It doesn't matter what kind of an organization you want to grow. Number 1, create a database. Oh my goodness, if there's nothing else you go away with, I'm telling you today, create a database of people you know, friends, family, ministers, business owners, whomever. Get an Excel sheet. You can do it on an Excel sheet. If you need help with that, I'm sure there's somebody in our community that can help you with that. Get an Excel sheet, and first name, last name, phone number, email are the first 4 things you need. If you'll start today, and every day add to that database every day, it is going to serve you so much. I can't tell you how much it will serve you as you go on this entrepreneur journey, whether with me or anybody else. Just remember, let it ring in your ear. Dr. Margot told me to start a database today. Second thing I want you to do, 10%, let me say, yes, I say 10%, but whatever amount, I want you to open up an account that has nothing to do with your checking account, your business account, your college fund for your kids. Open up an account just for you. And you start adding, I don't care if it's $10. Now, I remember a coach beginning to say this to me, and I thought, I don't have it. You'd be surprised. Put it in there and begin to watch it to grow. Every time you have something in your hand, at least once a week, and set it like I set mine on Monday, every Monday. You can set yours every Friday. I don't care. $10. Put as much as you can in there that stretches you, and then don't touch it. It will do something for you inside. It will say to you, I'm earning something. Because right now you're probably spending everything that you earn. And it feels like that in here. If I'd ask you, if I go around the room, you'd say, yeah, I feel it. I'm spending and I feel like that I don't have anything. It'll change something inside of you. I don't care if it's $10. Next time, put $20. If you have to put $5, put $5 in it and don't touch it. All of a sudden, you'll almost get addicted to it. Right now, there are probably some that feel addicted to spending it. That may be you. Stop doing that. God's giving you increase. But like the woman with the vessels, he said, close the door and start pouring, start saving, and set it aside. It'll change something inside of here, you guys. Okay. Now on that database, I want you can even do this on a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper, and while I'm talking, you can just, I'll do it for you as we go along here. And take a pen and a paper and take your database and then put, make a table. And then you can get somebody that knows Excel or something like that to do it. So I always do last name, and then first name. I'm going to show it to you too. First name and then phone. Now, if you have the address, all that, you can add that too. But these are the most important things. Email. Okay. Now you're going to make 7, and I didn't do it right, but you're going to make 7 columns. I didn't do it. I made it too big, but you'll get the idea. Okay. So now you have the email. Now the first one, in the first column, you're going to put first touch. In other words, that's the first time you're going to reach out to somebody. You can reach out to them through MailChimp, through a mass database. You can reach out to them by an email. You can reach out to them. We'll talk about that. Second, number 2 is I'm gonna teach it to you the way that I do it. Okay. First touch for me is mass email. MailChimp, you can go on Google and learn how to do MailChimp, and you get a free, so many people. So you could do it there. So then I put my database into an Excel sheet, and then I upload it to MailChimp. And so that's my first touch, is I send out a mass email. The second touch I do is I do a personal email. That's called a follow-up. Second is a personal email. That's my follow-up. That's my follow-up to my mass email. Third, I reach out with a call. I just call them. And I say, hey, Bob, hey, we're having a new program. Let's do it like this. We're starting a new business. And I just wondered if you got my email about it and what you thought about it. Now, I write a really good email. So learn how to write good emails about your product and service. Okay. We teach that. I don't have time today to teach you, but we teach it. Third, I reach out with a call. Fourth, I do a follow-up email. I just email Hey, Bob, just gave you a call today. Maybe he didn't answer. Let's say he didn't answer. Hey, Bob, I called you I just reached out and called you today to see if you got my email on July 4th. And so I'm following up with you just to make sure and so I write a good email about a follow-up. Short, to the point, but a good one. Fifth, I'm going to go down here now. Fifth is I call again. So I follow up and then I call. Now, the sixth time on that fifth call, I'm prepared to offer him something, him, her, whatever. I'm prepared. Hey, Bob, following up, and did you see my email? Did you see we're starting a new business? Hey, Bob, we're having a special. We're having a special. Just wanted to offer it to you and see if you'd be interested. So I write a real good pitch there. So that's my fifth call. And really what I'm looking for in 5 and 6, I am looking for a commitment to purchase. Sometimes on the fifth call, I'd love to buy you coffee, Bob. Hey, Bob, I know that you've been looking for insurance and I'd love to buy you coffee at Panera Bread. Yeah, I'm looking for insurance, Margot. Well, let me buy you coffee and let me talk to you about it. And let me tell you what we can offer you and see if it's a good fit for you. Okay, I'll do a cup of coffee. Most people will do a coffee and a lunch. And that is, for a small business owner, a little bit at a time, you can afford that. Little bit at a time. Invite somebody to lunch, invite somebody to the coffee. Everybody loves coffee. So that doesn't cost much. 6, you should, number 6 column should be a commitment to purchase. That's what you're looking for. Number 7, and that's my magic number. I always say win. I put a win in there. Now, does a win always happen at 7? Sometimes a win happens at 8. Remember I told you that it's 50%? Sometimes a win happens at 12. On the 12th time. But if you do it right, you're going to get a win on 7, 8, or 12. If you do it right. Bigger projects, bigger products, bigger services. It might take you all the way to the win on 20, like J. Conrad Levinson, the 20th time. So it may take you to 20, but that's okay. Now you know. Isn't it something how when you know how much power that has, that gives you to build and to create growth? When you don't know, you're just in the dark and throwing darts and you're just throwing, like you say, something that will hit the wall, a dart to hold the, stick on the wall. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Maybe it work. Maybe it won't. No, this is proven, you guys. This is a proven system. I have a girl that I taught and that works with me here, and she goes, the process works every time. So what do you do? 1, 2, 3. What do you do in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You repeat, repeat, repeat. You touch, follow up, call, text, follow up, call, email, text. But you just follow up. You follow up. The commitment to purchase and the win is in the follow up. The win and your money is in the follow up. Isn't that nice to know? Your win is in the follow up. So it's a lot of boring. Sometimes I say this is the boring part of business. Now, some people love it, but sometimes this is the boring part of business. You know, at night, I'm following up. And here's the key. You should write this down. If you will follow up and touch somebody, 5 people a day, 5 people, statistically, it's been proven. If you will follow up and touch somebody, touch 5 people a day. I know a girl that I used to coach, even all through COVID. She did real estate forever. For now 20 years, maybe longer. She has not missed a day. Well, at least I don't think she has. Maybe she did miss a day, but it doesn't seem like she has. She touches 5 people a day. Can you imagine you touch 5 people a day? How much that adds up? And you just touch them. You just follow up. Sometimes she'll send me a recipe. Sometimes she'll say, hey, I'm having a business. I'm having a meeting. Sometimes she'll touch me by sending me a scripture. But she will touch me. She will touch 5 people a day. It's not always me. It's 5 different people. Just think about it. You go 5 different people a day. How many people you would have as customers? Because here's what people like. They like somebody they can trust. And when you've touched them regularly, when they've seen you regularly, when they don't see you, you're the best kept secret in town. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know if they want you to do their books. You may be shopping. You may be on the beach. But when you touch people 5 times, five different people, you all of a sudden, you just got people out, you got relationships. You just got relationships out there. Oh, yeah. And all of a sudden, somebody needs a book. And they go, oh, you know what, Margot? You need to call Margot. She's got Bush Publishing. Somebody's talked to somebody. Oh, your business isn't doing so good. You know what? You need to talk to Margot. You know what? She's emailed me. She's so consistent. She's so consistent. Now, again, it's not 5 of the same people every day. Don't do that because that will go nowhere. It's 5 different people a day. And if you'll be consistent, you'll grow and you'll earn more money than you really could have ever imagined. Hey, you guys, we got 1 minute. If you want to know anything else about what we do, reach out to me. You know my number, you know my email, drmargot@margotbush.com. Ask me I will send you a calendar. We'll get on a call. If you want to join my new program, or know anybody else that wants to join my new program, I'm super excited about it. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. And it's $97 a month. It's well worth it. It's basically it's a donation. Thank you. Thank you. Melissa, it's well worth it. Hey, you guys, for anybody that's on, we have pom-poms in our community because we like to share wins and we like to rejoice with people who have wins. So it's $97. It's 2 coaching, group coachings a week. And, it's Money Church on Saturday. And, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I'm getting ready. I just started my podcast. We'll have some free offers, for anybody who joins the program every month. We'll have free offers. If you really are serious about growing, a business, a ministry, or a book business, get into my elite business program. I can't tell you how much it will help you, and you'll grow. And I will work with you. There's payment plans. So if you need a payment plan, we have in-house payment plans. I work with everybody that I can as much as I can, without us going under. But I really do work with everybody that I can. And because I'm serious about you having success and you growing your whatever God has put in your heart and whatever gift you have, it's there to help people. I can't tell you how many people that I have in my coaching session, on my coaching, that I coach every week, that has been there to help me. They help me. I'm better because of the relationships I have. And you'll be better coming into this community. We're here. We're here to help one another. We're here to help you grow and get you started in growth. And sometimes, it's hard to get started. We'll help you get started. And so if you don't mind, if it's okay with you, I'd like to close this out in prayer. Thank you so much for joining me for the 3 days. I'm going to continue to do these 3 days. The next one will probably be in about 2 weeks. I'm going to continue this. We are looking to have 100 new students join our program. We're just super excited about it. We want to serve and help people. So let me pray for you, and I want to pray for your business and pray for you. Father, in the name of Jesus, I just thank you for all of these students, all of these people who want to just advance and grow in the gift that God you have given them. And so I pray over them a blessing. I speak blessing over them. Father, if we can help them, I thank you that you given the means to do that. Father, if we have planted seed, I pray that you just help that seed to grow inside of them and to be a blessing. And so we just thank you for it, Father. And I speak blessing on them, and everything they put their hand to will prosper in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, you guys, thank you for joining. I will see you next time on our 3-day.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye. Thank you.